Okay. Drag 101.
Message from Sharon.
Not right now. One of Jacksonville's biggest problems, and I don't mean this to offend you, but one of Jacksonville's biggest problems is you have all these little young king wannabes that get on the stage, and because they don't have anybody to teach them, they get up and do it completely wrong. Now, when I started, you know, I started out as a kitten. I was surrounded by actual male illusionists. Remington Steele, Gage Gatlin, Wolfie. There were no newbies. They all by then knew what they were doing. And I used to sit in the dressing room like a little girl and watch, because to watch them transform completely just utterly amazed the shit out of me. And Gage taught me how to be an entertainer first, because I didn't start out as a king or an MI. I started out as a kitten. He taught me how to be an entertainer first, and I'm going to teach y'all to do just that. Everything that Gage taught me, I'm going to teach you. And then hopefully you'll teach somebody else, and then they'll teach somebody else, and we can get, the goal is to get male illusion back in Jacksonville the way it was supposed to be. Because I can remember a time at the Norm where the Norm was packed, and people not only came out to see the shows, but they appreciated them. You know what I'm saying? It's not about just getting up there, throwing on some bullshit and opening up your mouth. It's an art. It really, really is an art. So, Gage started what was called Jayville Kings in 2004. And then in 2004, it went from Jayville Kings to 100 degrees Celsius. I became a member of 100 degrees Celsius in 2005. I was the only kitten in Jacksonville. We had a blast, and I used to sit back and I used to watch them come in, and as they transformed, their demeanors changed, their attitudes changed, the way they walk changed. And for me, it was just fascinating. And I used to just watch. You know, I wasn't, at that time, there was no interest in me becoming a king. I just wanted to watch. And then they did a turnabout where I had to be a boy and the boys had to be girls. Which was funny. I have to tell you, it was fucking hilarious. So just from watching them in the dressing rooms, I pretty much got myself ready. I still had to have somebody bind me, and I still needed to be critiqued. But it wasn't supposed to be something that was permanent. So if I made mistakes here and there, it was a given. Well, AJ was born. I got completely and utterly, it was a challenge. Especially because I was such a girly girl. I was a femme foo-foo, nails did, makeup, hair, and I could completely transform myself into a boy. Just fascinated the shit out of me. And so for the first year, I perfected my craft, and then I started to compete, and I started to win, and it just became a passion. So what I'm going to do is I'm hopefully going to give y'all the same passion. The first thing we're going to go over, and I need y'all to write this down. We're going to go over the top 10 huge never no-nos of male illusion. These are things that you never do. It's a smack in the face to the whole fucking craft. Okay. Number 1, never, and you're going to laugh, never draw on your facial hair. Ever. Ever. No. The difference between, and you're going to have to write this down too. The difference between a drag king and a male illusionist is just this. A drag king will get on the stage. He will, for him it's all about being in the spotlight. It's all about the attention. He will get on the stage. He will draw on his facial hair, if he wears any. My personal favorite, when they draw it on and they don't bind. That drives me absolutely positively.
Like Spiky?
Huh?
Almost like Spiky?
But Spiky's in a class all by himself, because okay. Spiky does, when he does the boobs, he doesn't portray a male.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. He doesn't, when he leaves the boobs out, he's more like a kitten or a diva.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's a female. Okay. But when he puts on the facial hair, these go bye-bye.
Yeah.
A drag king will get up there in street clothes and prance around the stage, and it's like I said, it's about being in the spotlight. For them, it's more fun. It's not, they don't take it serious enough. And if that's what they want to do, then fine. If they don't ever plan on taking it any further, I don't knock anybody for what they necessarily do. But don't say, well, I'm a drag king, or I'm a male illusionist, and get up there and do that. It drives me batty. A male illusionist, on the other hand, makes costumes. He will not go out on the stage unless he has completely transformed. Like now you see me, I am tucked and untaped. So basically I'm not AJ right now, I'm Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? But the minute I tape and the minute the facial hair goes on, Vicky can tell you, my attitude changes. The way I walk changes, my demeanor changes. It's like AJ is this little Latin suave type womanizing individual. And Brooklyn's just a crazy bitch. You know what I'm saying? There is a difference. And they take that extra time. They won't go out on the stage unless they completely have taken on the identity of their
male persona.
Yes. You literally have to take on that, and they do that. They master that. Is it easy? No. I still see videos of me where I see like femi hand gestures and shit. It takes practice. A male illusionist wants to take it to the next level. For a male illusionist, it's a challenge. And it's a passion. You have to have a passion for what you do. If you want to be a drag king and just do this for a little while, and that's fine. Do you know what I'm saying? But there is a difference between the two. So what I'm teaching you is about male illusion. I'm not teaching you how to be a king. Cool? Cool. The second thing you never do. Never get on stage and perform a girl song. Ever. If you can find male versions of, if you see a girl song that you want to do, you can find a male version of it. It's like a drag queen getting up on stage and doing a totally butch boy song. It makes no sense. For that, you could just be an entertainer. You understand? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 3, never, don't get mad at me, get on the stage without knowing your words. When you decide that you want to do a song,
Practice.
you have to know it like you wrote it. Not only do you have to know it like you wrote it, you have to perform it. Do you know the difference between getting up there and just doing a number and getting up there and actually performing it?
Yes.
What?
Doing a number, you haven't practiced, you haven't rehearsed it, you haven't memorized the song. You go up there, you just wing it basically. And when you perform a song, you still kind of wing it with the crowd, but you're more for the audience and you're performing the song like it's a story. And
Exactly. That's what I want you to do. I do. Because I know you can. So that's what you do. You get up there and never, just always know your words. Just never perform in everyday street clothes. And in the beginning, that's kind of hard. For people starting out, that's kind of hard. I can tell you that thrift stores will become your best friend. You know, just if you're in a thrift store and you get a pair of jeans, put them aside. Don't wear them anywhere but on the stage. You can turn anything into a costume. It's just something slightly different. You can get a can of glitter spray and glitter the shit out of your outfit. I will teach y'all how to stone and all that other shit. But you know what I'm saying? You never want to get on stage in street clothes, and I'm going to tell you why. Number 1, there's nothing more embarrassing than being on a stage performing a number and there's somebody in the audience with that same outfit. Yes, that is so not cute. Number 2, the bar venues, if you notice, they really don't want to be bothered with the kings. And the reason they don't want to be bothered with the kings is because they feel that the kings do not put in the same effort. Have you ever gone to a female drag show and saw a queen get up there in street clothes? Seriously. They're always wearing costuming, and it's always about the performance. We have to live by those same standards. You know what I'm saying? How can we expect the same recognition and the same respect that the queens get if we're not doing it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So don't ever get out of the stage in your street clothes. Always make an honest attempt to do something. Unless you're doing a number like I do, Not Afraid by Eminem. I get up there in the blue sweatpants and the white shirt and the hat. I do get up there, but I don't wear that out on the street anymore. That all of a sudden just stopped being my regular clothes and it started to become a costume. Unless your number actually calls for it. But you have to always make some kind of an effort, and the more you do it, the easier it gets, and then it just becomes fucking fun. Well, what can I do to this shit? You know what I'm saying? So start thinking about that, and start putting in something. If you need help, holla at me. I don't sew, but a hot glue gun is my best friend.
I've seen that beach towel.
Yes, hot glue gun, boy, don't play. Never go on the stage unbinded. The whole male illusionist. It means you take on the persona of a male, not a male with girl boobs. It's always best to tape. Now some people, and we'll go over this later, but never use like cellophane and never use ace bandages. You're gonna, and I'm gonna teach you both how to bind yourself. Which is always, it takes practice. It took me, the first time I tried to bind myself, I looked like I had elephantitis of the tits. You know, but it takes practice, and I used to watch Gage do it. Nobody showed me how to do it. I used to actually sit and watch Gage do it. And then one day, I decided, you know what, it's about time for me to learn, and I taught myself. But I'm going to teach you. It's something good, like if you ever go to perform someplace else, you don't have to have somebody with you to bind you. All you're really going to need is somebody in the dressing room, and it could be anybody, it could be somebody that's there, to put one strip across your back, and that's it. You can do the rest yourself, but it takes practice, so I suggest you invest on duct tape.
Yeah, we have to.
Yeah, lots of it. Well, maybe not so much. Never go on the stage without a package. You can use socks, and I will teach you how to make these too. You can use socks, condoms, and rice.
I've done that.
And that's actually what I use, because it's not, some people prefer to wear strap-ons. My personal feeling with strap-ons is they're too stiff. They just look like you've got this big log hanging out of your pants.
You got a boner.
Yes, you're walking around with a heart on. The socks are kind of hard to keep in your pants, and it's just all lumpy and whatnot. I prefer either the rice or these little itty bitty beans, because it makes it flexible, it's comfortable, and people know it's there. Never go on stage with dirty or smelly costumes. And the reason I specifically put this in here is because I actually know somebody who does it, who has literally chased people out of the dressing rooms like wanting to vomit.
Ew.
Yes, not pretty. Your costumes, although they don't have to go in the wash on a regular, like I performed last night. The next time I perform, I may wear, or I may not wear that particular outfit again for another month. But I never wear it more than twice without washing them. You have to present yourself in extremely professional manners, and the last thing, you want people to come and see you perform. You don't want people running out the door. Never get shit-faced and hit the stage, and never get shit-faced when the show is done. I will tell you from personal experience that I was okay with that in the beginning, but as things went on, it got bad. I used to pride myself, well, I don't get drunk when I'm performing. But when you do that, people don't want to come and see somebody who's shit-faced. Your whole goal is you want to create a following. You want people to come and see you perform venue to venue to venue to venue. And they're not going to do that if you're known for being shit-faced all the time and belligerent and all that. You have to be professional, whether you're on the stage or whether you're off the stage. And once you get to a point where, you know, you're starting to get known, you'll find, and this kind of sucks, especially for your age, but you'll find that you literally have to watch what you're doing even when you're not performing. If you're going out with your friends to a fucking club somewhere, you literally have to watch what you're doing because hopefully people will recognize you. And you don't want them to, you don't want to give them that bad impression. You know, I was at an airport one time going to Jersey for my nephew's funeral. I was in sweatpants, I was tore up from the floor up, I was a mental mess. And this lady came in the bathroom and said, "Excuse me, aren't you AJ Menendez? My daughter has you all over her wall." And I'm like, really? What do you say to that? But you know what I'm saying? They do recognize you. If you are giving them something to remember, they will remember you and they will come back. And so that's a huge one. Never bind with cellophane or ace bandages. Cellophane will tear your shit up. For the newbies, never bind with Gorilla Tape. Because your skin is not used to being binded. And Gorilla Tape will tear. I wore Gorilla Tape when I was out in Arizona. I was out there for a week. So I was binded in the Arizona sun for a week. And I came home and I had no skin left on my titties.
Oh no.
I did. I had to walk around here topless for a week and put Aquaphor on it because what I was doing was I was using the Gorilla Tape and wearing a binder over it and sweating. So that when the tape came off, it was taking off the blisters. And then I was taping over that the next day. So, yeah, no. No. Never go on stage with a scruffy or uneven facial hair unless your number requires it. I do a drunk number, my shit is all over the place. But you always make sure when you apply your facial hair that it's even and it's not sticking out in places and it's not hole patches. And I will teach you when you perform, sometimes your facial hair will crack because you're using the glue. I will teach you how to fix that problem. Those are the top 10. Egos do not belong on or off the stage. I can tell you from personal experience, it is not difficult for this shit to go to your head. When I first started performing and I first started getting the titles and all of this, and of course alcohol played a big part in it, my ego was this big. I just thought I was the shit. If you weren't talking about me, I would flip it until the conversation was about me. You know what I'm saying? And that ego shows on and off the stage. And you want to be able to show your audience that you are a good entertainer, but you're humble. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid to be humble. Actually, the chicks love that. So egos and whatnot, if you ever get to a point in this business where you think you know it all, it's time to quit. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this, the male part I've been doing since what, 2008? 2008, and I'm still calling up kings or I'm still looking for advice. There's always something that you can learn. So never think that you've got it. Like after I teach you everything that I know, don't get on the stage and say, well, I know it all. Because I can tell you won't. And whatever I tell you is going to take practice. Bashing or downgrading other entertainers. That is a very difficult one and one that I have been guilty of in the past. So, but it's unprofessional. You know, if you see an entertainer, very much like I did with you, if you see an entertainer that's doing something that could use your help, instead of bashing them, throw yourself out there and put it to use. If you see that they're doing it wrong, then show them the right way. Learn to separate yourself from your persona. It keeps you from getting lost in it.
I have a question. I'm transgender, so that's kind of...
Oh!
I've known I was transgender since I was little. So.
Okay, well, you still have... Your real name is...
It's Margaret Helen Lee.
Okay, well, deep down, well, what's your boy name?
My parents renamed me Magnar Arne Leadoff.
Okay, that. Learn how to separate that from Nova.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is don't be, for an example, after a show, I'll usually take off the tape and all the facial hair and I'll go out and hang out with my fans. But I let them see that I'm not just an entertainer. I'm a real down-to-earth person. You can talk to me. Because a big problem in this business, and one of the reasons why the little kings don't approach MIs who have been doing this longer is out of fear. They feel that they're unapproachable. Well, make yourself approachable. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know there are some who are afraid to approach Gage. Well, I can't ask him that. Man, if y'all only really knew Gage, Gage is one of the easiest people and one of the sweetest people. You know, he's larger than life on the stage, and that's an amazing thing. But he is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Don't ever make yourself unapproachable, and let your fans know that it's not just entertaining to you. It's you know, you have your own person, and in here it's important to keep yourself separated because you get lost. It's really not hard to get lost in this, and you have to work on keeping it. You know, there's a difference between Brooklyn and AJ, and for a while there wasn't.
Yeah.
For the longest time there wasn't, and it took me a while to find myself back. So, and I'm still getting there. Never date your fans. Or anybody that you meet while you're performing. And I'm going to tell you why. I don't care how you look at me. I'm going to tell you why it's a bad idea.
I can give you a lot of reasons why it's a bad idea.
Well, then you can probably figure that out. They get jealous and they just get crazy, and then nobody wants to see you because you've got this psycho ex bitch sitting in the audience just ruining your shit. Keep your professional life and your personal life separate. When you're on stage, appear to be available, but never be available. That is your best bet. If you don't want to be in the situation, avoid it. Not a good idea. No, not a good idea. See, I've been busy. While you're performing, oh, okay, I already said that. Never discuss your pay with another entertainer or another venue owner. Like, say you get booked at the Norm and they pay you, and then say you get booked at AJ's or someplace else, and they say, well, how much do they pay you at the Norm? Never discuss your pay. That is between you, yourself, and you. And you don't want to hurt another entertainer's feelings. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, say you're getting paid $75 to perform, and they're only paying another entertainer $25. You don't want to be put in that situation. So never leave that alone. No fighting or personal bullshit. If you are having problems at home and you make a conscious decision to go and perform, that problem and any other problems you may have stays home. You never show that aggression on the stage unless your number requires it. Unless you're doing a dark demonic number that's going to cause you to be a raving lunatic. You know what I'm saying? Any problems, and sometimes it's hard to do, and that's where that separating your persona from your personal is going to come in handy. You know, if you have problems that you're angry, get on the stage and do an angry number. But the minute your number's over, go back to being your happy-go-lucky, normal, nothing is bothering me self. Doesn't matter what happens after you leave the bar, you can blow up in the parking lot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it never comes, if you're upset about something, and somebody else performs a really slow, sappy number that's going to make you cry, you need to pick up your balls and learn how to control that. You know, you don't want to see, your audience doesn't want to see that. Like I said, they want to come and they want to be entertained, and you want them to remember you, and you want them to come back and see you perform. So there are just certain ways that you have to be and certain ways that you have to act. And it's not always easy, and it takes a while. Girlfriends who have jealousy issues.
Not bring them to your show.
I already wrote that down.
Not a good idea. I have to tell you that I have the best drag wife on earth. People have tried to rip off my clothes and lick me like lollipops, and she laughs and take pictures. But not everybody in your generation is like that.
Not at all.
So yeah, if they can't handle it, stay the fuck home. Period.
I just don't tell them I'm performing that night.
Yeah.
But see, then you run into the problem of if they just decide to go out with their friends and they just happen to show up. And then it's going to turn into a fight. You know what I'm saying? It's going to turn into something really ugly and bullshit. So it's always important to keep it real with them. But if they can't handle it, real talk. I've had to, like when I was with the group, I've actually had to tell the bar person, look, because they can't keep these people out of the bar. But I've had to tell the bar people, okay, look, the minute she starts shit, get her out. The sooner you get her out, the better. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever get into any kind of conflicts with them. Let the bar handle it. You can handle your personal bullshit at home. But as long as you're in that bar, I don't care if she's your girlfriend or not. Let the bar handle it as the bar sees fucking fit, and then handle it when you get home. Don't do duets unless you have two people.
Yeah.
I've seen drag queens get up there and do, not even necessarily a duet, but they'll get up there and do a girly song that has a male part, and then they just dance around the male part.
Yeah.
That drives me crazy.
Same here.
Don't do it. Make sure you have a partner to do whatever you can do, whatever you want to do. In this line of business, anything is possible. You can take this as far as you want to take this, or you can just take it but so far and decide that you want to quit. You know what I'm saying? This line of business will force you to use your creative side. Well, you'll hear a song, and you'll know when you start to do it because you'll hear a song out of fucking nowhere, and all of a sudden a number will pop into your head. That's what I want to do with that. And if that's already happening, I suggest you go with it. Okay. Play with the ideas. Don't ever
hold it back.
Don't ever hold yourself back.
Yeah.
I've done some serious. Man, listen. Last Christmas we did Alvin and the Chipmunks on the stage for fucking Christmas time. To me, it was the most. The Rainbow House. That beach towel. Yeah. I felt like an idiot.
Why?
I did because it was out of my box. It wasn't, you know what I'm saying? It's just not AJ style. I felt like an absolute positive idiot. It was a good idea at the time that I was making it. It became a bad idea the minute I put it on and I looked in the mirror. But they like shit like that. That creative fucking shit, they love that. So if you have an idea, work with it until you perfect it. Okay. And then do it. Don't worry. Well, they're gonna think I'm stupid. Look,
to be you.
Don't. Yes, you have to be you. Don't stunt yourself. Okay, now I'll deal with questions because I made you do that. Pull out that thingy that I sent y'all.
Thingy.
Yeah, the questionnaire.
I just wrote down my answers.
That's fine, because I have the questions right here.
Okay.
Okay. Why do you want to do this? We're going to start with you.
Okay. To explore the wonders of a different kind of art form, to be the person I am on the inside, as well as prove to myself I can overcome the tyranny I used to face as a child.
I like that. Sir?
Actually, I wrote 4 pages, and I'm not going to say that right now, so I shortened it. Because, like, 3 pages are about you, so
You're going to make me cry.
Okay, so I'm just telling you my short answer.
She said 4 pages. 3 of which are about AJ. Okay.
Sounds not like you. Okay, drag is my passion, and I want to be able to meet people